how you doing? Great. My name is Stan, and I'm pretty much happy and excited to be seated next to Pastor Xavier once again. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Pastor Stan.
You see, there's one thing that I'm constantly doing, and that is check-in progress.
Yes.
See, I know you as a progressive man who's constantly making progress,
Yes.
and for that reason, I have to constantly check.
Yes.
And I've realized that you're making too much progress that sometimes it's hard to keep up with. So at this particular time, we just need, maybe it's because obviously there's definitely somebody who's watching us for the first time.
All right.
You can just quickly introduce yourself and introduce this project that you're doing,
Right.
which is the Joshua Generation.
Thank you so much.
To the world.
Thank you so much, Pastor Stan. Pastor Xavier here, the founder, chairperson of the Joshua Generation, the world's biggest Christian youth business consortium, which was started in America, but we were the custodians in Africa and in Zimbabwe. And our mandate was to spread into the SADC region and the African region. And we have done basically just that. So we are a Christian youth business consortium, which is going into Africa, conscientizing the youths on the need to work together, to say don't just work as individuals, but begin to partner with other youths with similar business interests. So we are a Christian youth business consortium where we encourage youths to work together, to partner together, rather than waiting on government, to come in with equity capital. Yeah.
And I remember from one of the interviews, you said something like, it's better to own a smaller percentage of an elephant as opposed to owning 100% of an ant. I remember that quite well.
Yeah.
So definitely this is what this business consortium is responsible of doing, which is really marvelous, And maybe what you can simply do is just give us a brief background.
Right.
A brief background of the Joshua Generation.
The Joshua Generation, like I said, we started it in Zimbabwe, but later on we then hooked up with other partners that were in the United States who had started this vision back in 1988. So it was after a while of panel beating it here in Zimbabwe to say we have started the Joshua Generation. Then later we realized this thing has happened elsewhere, so we partnered, and that took us into the international market. And we were then given a mandate to say, rather than sticking in Zimbabwe, why don't you spread into Africa's 58 states, of which I'm proud to say we are now in 58 African countries. Wow. We have representatives there. We have got our 7-member consortiums in every 58 African countries. Wow. Thank God for WhatsApp. Thank God for social media. Wow. We are able to do things faster now in this generation. So the background was, when we started in Zimbabwe, we went to the youth, to the Ministry of Youth, because we had what we call the Youth Fund. Government had a youth fund which was being administered by Cabs Bank. Originally, it's an old mutual youth fund. Okay. And the issue was, youths were being funded, briefcase businesses were being funded, and there was a 90% loan repayment default that happened with that youth fund, which has closed youth fund up to this very day. Government is still negotiating with Old Mutual to say, assist our youths. And Old Mutual is saying, have you reformed? What has happened? So we came up with a model which is run now from 2016, where we've been working with the Ministry of Youth, with Old Mutual, to say, look, we are doing the donkey work to make sure that we structure our youth into 7-member consortiums, where before you fund them, let them begin their business, let them start their businesses, then you fund them after they have proved that they're in business. So we are at a phase where youth empowerment in Zimbabwe is no longer about funding youth businesses from briefcase businesses, but we fund businesses that have already started. And this was what we take pride in as the Joshua Generation, to say we have gone a little bit step further, to say let's partner youths, bring back youths together who have similar business interests, so that once they have worked out their vision, Old Mutual then comes in and funds or meets them halfway. So this is the work that we've been doing. And I'm happy to say that Old Mutual, when I had a meeting with them about 2 weeks ago, we have what we call a youth center that we want to open in Harare, opposite Naka Parade, where we want to open a youth hub, a business hub, where youths can enter into that hub, have meetings, set up meetings, because we've realized that these small businesses, they might not have an area to operate from. But Old Mucha said, no, let's come up with a hub. So before we start funding their businesses, let them now begin to meet together, work together, and actually have a place where they can meet. So we are actually in the process of setting up that business center for the youths, specifically for the youths who have no offices. To say, now you have offices, you have got a place, as long as you are a member of the Joshua generation, you have a place to say, I've got an office in town. You are not there the whole day, you are there as and when you want to have meetings. So Old Mucho has gave us a homework to be organized. We also went a step further to say, whilst we're organizing ourselves, we put our subscription or membership fees into what we call a unity trust account, where we are injecting money, our membership fees, so that an Old Mucho is constantly, looking at that account to see whether it's growing, whether we are now ripe and ready to be funded or to be met halfway. So this is the work that we have done, and this is the background.
Wow, this is really beautiful. You see, as I'm listening to you right now, I'm also picturing this. Like, there's a question on whether the people have reformed.
Yes,
so obviously, your organization is simply saying, we are bringing you a package of reformed people.
We are bringing a package of reformed youths, youths who are no longer, because the term youth is associated with,
political.
Yeah, you have not yet reached maturity, even spiritually speaking. Whenever you hear a young or youth, it means he hasn't reached a point of sonship. So to be youth, it's not a good term. So we need to get to a point where we are mature, where we are organized, where we are the Joshua generation, which is ready to cross over into the promised land. So we took it upon ourselves to say we are transforming this youthful mindset into a mature mindset, which is ready for business, which can handle monies, which is faithful to pay back loans. So we took it upon ourselves, being pastors, obviously, we have time with people to mold a character that can pay back, loans. So yeah, we took our time to say we are going to mold a youth that is responsible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to a great extent, our biggest challenge has been the sense of entitlement. Because I think maybe as a youth, you have a sense of entitlement. You think you have a right to a particular thing.
Yes.
And when you get that thing, you still think it's your thing.
Precisely.
And you don't want to give it back.
Yes.
And then now that has led us to a place where we can't get anything at all because of the sense of entitlement.
Yeah,
and lack of responsibility.
Yeah. Yes. We've been spoiled, so to speak. The government has done a lot for the youth. To have this youth fund, not just the government, even the private sector has injected a lot of money towards the youth. But record tells us that the youth is not responsible. So the ball was kicked into our court, and we didn't kick it back. So we have a situation where government is appealing to Old Mucho to say, have you forgotten about our youth? And Old Mucho is saying, but the last time we funded them, the last time we supported them, this is what happened. 90% loan repayment default. There's no investor who would want to play around with such an investment. Really So we knew, because we had a chance to sit with government through the Ministry of Youth and also with Old Mucho, and we understood to say, okay, this is where the youth have messed up. So we need a model that can answer this, this dilemma. So the Joshua generation came as a Christian, and the way we say Christian is also to conscientize to say we are Christian. Youth Business Consortium. We are also youth who are in business, and we have a character that you can depend on. We have organized ourselves, we have done our homework, and we are ready for business.
Oh, that's really interesting. So what guarantee do we have that folks have really been reformed? And I think this is the part maybe you would talk to us about, maybe the journey with the Word of God.
Yes.
You see, I would like to believe that that's the only thing that might bring true reformation and true change, a journey, you know. Maybe you can share a bit more light on that.
So we must understand that the Joshua generation is just not a term. It's a character we are building in youths. So we had to conscientize them spiritually to be men and women of order. So we have classes that we take them through. I have personally written a book which has become a curriculum which we are infusing this payback character, this mature character in our youths. And not only that, we are also mature because the youths have gone further to organize themselves from provincial, district, constituency, ward, branch, and cell level. They are organized. They are not, you are no longer dealing with individual youths. You are dealing with consortiums, guys who encourage themselves to say, guys, we got to pay back the money that we have been given by government. Not only that, they've gone further to put money into their business idea. So we're not talking of businesses that are in the briefcase. We are talking of businesses that youth have started doing with or without government, with or without funding. Okay, so they have now become an investment hub. They've now become an investment opportunity. When you look at an ongoing business, you are investing because you are seeing the potential. You are seeing that these guys are going somewhere. Yeah. So now Old Mutual or any other funder has got the capacity to now look and analyze to say this is a worthy investment based on the track record, because you are not longer funding a briefcase business, but you are funding something that is ongoing. So we have organized our youth to a point where they are worthy to be invested into. But not only that, we are not just looking for money, we are looking also for equal partnerships with the existing businesses that want to use our membership for distribution of their products and services. Okay. So we are not just hunting for cash flow, we are not hunting for money. We are hunting for companies like Lafarge, who are now saying we are selling our cement through the Joshua generation. Oh, that's wonderful. We have got GTEL, who are saying we are selling our cell phones through the Joshua generation. Wow. We've got ZTE Mobile, we've got Econet, we've got even international brands such as Alliance in Motion Global, which is selling their health products through the Joshua generation, not just in Zimbabwe, but because now we are also in Kenya, we are in Angola, we are also in all these African countries, they are able to target our youths and sell their products through our organized network. So the Joshua generation is an organized generation. If you read the book of Numbers, they first had to count themselves. How many are we, according to their tribes, before they crossed over into the promised land? So we realized that what is causing all this confusion in youth empowerment is the fact that the youths are not organized. And we did the donkey work of organizing them and restructuring them so that they can attract investment and partnerships. Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite interesting because, you see, people might be educated, people might attain all levels of qualification, and they might present papers to say I'm eligible, I'm entitled to this. Yes. But the thing is, if they do not have the character, the character is what matters the most. Unfortunately, the school system is not designed to develop the character of a man. No. So now the beautiful thing is, you are bringing in this lovely, wonderful organization with a mandate to develop the character of a man.
Everything we do at the Joshua generation revolves around that Christian aspect, instilling Christ in our youths, a new character. When we say you are now born again, it means the old character is gone. And you have Christ who is living inside of you. But not only that, we put a comma, we then say you are a youth, which means you still need to be mentored by other businesses and other people and mentors that have gone ahead of you. We put a comma to it, we say you are business, which means you need to be in business. Okay? You need to be in business either for you are invested into or you are partnering with existing businesses, as an agent, as a brand ambassador. Then we put a comma to it, you are in a consortium. You must not just work as an individual. You must work as a consortium, as a group of people with similar business interests. So that's why we said, a percent of an elephant is much bigger than 100% of an ant. So don't waste your time saying, my business is failing because I'm working as an individual. Partner with other people. There's nothing new under the sun. What you are doing, there's someone next door who's trying to do the same thing. And they might have resources that you might not have. So we realize that individualism is what has killed the youth in any part of the world. So we came with a solution to say, let the youth partner in consortiums, youth with similar business interests. So we realize the work we are doing in Zimbabwe, we've got youth all over in Africa now, who are doing the same work and who are being inspired by what we are doing. So I know the work that I'm doing in Zimbabwe is inspiring someone in Lesotho. We now have a full membership in Lesotho.
Wow, wow.
We have a full membership in Angola. And we have gone international. We have youths in Pakistan.
Wow.
We have youths in China. We have youths in India. We have youths in Philippines.
Wow.
So we have youths in Brazil.
Wow.
So we saw that God really wanted this, worldwide Christian youth movement, which is also in business. And we thank God for this opportunity, really. And I must also thank you, Pastor Stan, for having monitored us. When we were in school, we used to have class monitors. You know that when the teacher is not around, the class monitor is in charge. So when you are constantly monitoring us like this and also publicizing us on your media, we know that we're inspiring the whole world.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, we definitely are inspired by the work you're doing.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything grow that fast.
Yeah.
I've seen things grow, but I've never seen anything grow that fast.
Right.
I don't. This is some kind of spiritual genetics
Yes.
going on
Yes.
here. Wow, this is really big and beautiful.
We thank God. We actually feel like we're in Acts chapter 2, where there was that outpour of the Holy Spirit.
True.
And you do realize that when the outpour of the Holy Spirit came, people started speaking different languages, which means this was an international movement, which was launched at Pentecost.
True.
So we are reliving that moment. It's only that now we have many more countries. Then they used to have the Libyas, the Ethiopias, the Mesopotamia, and all those countries that they used to have. Yeah. But now we are talking Germany. We are talking Brazil, we are talking the United States of America. So we copied a model which, people understand, even in the political world. They understand structures, provincial structures, district structures. So we followed that model, and we say we must have consortiums at all those structures, and up to cell level. So we are neatly networked on WhatsApp. We've got over 254 national WhatsApp groups.
Wow.
Where youth are.
Oh yeah, Joshua generation, the Joshua